Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Rico back at it again. Folks, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report. You know who, brought to you by the Buffalo Net. And we got a special show for y'all tonight. I'll be joined by the big homie, Carl Jones, my dude. I mean, I got a lot of things to ask my man. I think Bills fans are still, asking questions. We asking questions. I think there's a lot of things still going down that we still want to kind of have an idea. For the film gurus out there, for those that watch film, how did Matt Milano do in the film room? Was he as bad as people are thinking he was? Is the proof in the pudding? What we didn't see is exactly what we didn't see. Like, we didn't see him show out and really show up on film, or did he? And we're just not seeing those things, right? Rasul Douglas, are we out? Is Rasul Douglas gone for a couple weeks, maybe 3? Is Kyer Elam next man up? Apparently not. That's interesting to me. So there's a few things that we got to talk about with my guy Carl Jones. But for those that are tuning in for the very first time, do me a favor, smash that like. If you are a everyday, every stream, viewer, do me a favor, smash that like and show some love, not to myself, but my man Carl Jones in the building. So, folks, if you have not completed your Christmas shopping and you're still looking to kind of look for a little stocking stuffer, whatever y'all want to, put through, hey, man, I got a little something for you, man. We got the Lake Effect lateral tees, sweatshirts, all that stuff going out right now. All you got to do is hit up the website, supportbf.com, www.supportbf.com. And if you want to, show out a little bit, you want to talk about the 5-time Div champs back to back, go ahead and cop yourself a division champ tee or sweatshirt, something to wear around the crib, something to wear around Buffalo or wherever you guys are from, because everybody's going to know what time it is. And if they need to ask what time it is, you just say 5 times. What are you talking about? You know about the Buffalo Bills? Yeah, let me tell you about that. So that's how it works, folks. So other than that, man, let's get into the show. I got to bring my dog, my man, Carl Jones on. Give me the flex. Let me know you're ready to go. All right. Here he is, my guy, Carl. Listen, you said you had to go let the dog out the kennel or in the kennel. What did you name your dog?
That's funny. Stevie. My little man named Stevie.
Stevie, have you had this dog a long time? Or?
Nah, little puppy. We got him back in August. My girlfriend and I, we met at a building in Syracuse called Stevenson. So she came with the idea of shortening it. It was going to either be something Syracuse related, so Mello, one of our streets we lived on in Syracuse, but we settled on Stevie.
Yo, Mello would have been cool.
Yeah, it's just problem with Mello is that it's hella dogs that we know named Mello. Like, everybody from Syracuse named their dog Mello. So I don't think I could have did that too.
I'll say this though, I'm actually I have an issue, and I'm not a dog owner, I'm not a pet person or whatnot, but I also find it somewhat hilarious. But I somewhat have an issue with it. People that give their dogs like human names, like Charles or you know what I mean. Yeah. Jackson or Steven, and you went Stevie, you can work with Stevie. I get it, but all the traditional kind of bingo names are gone. Like, nobody uses those anymore. Maybe people are giving traditional names like Jack. Come here, Jack. I'm like, who are we talking about here? You know what I mean? So Stevie, all right, I rock with it.
Yeah, he's small. I ain't the biggest dog person either, but if I had to move my girl from New York City to Buffalo, I had to make a couple concessions.
Does the dog is there set rules for dog where they eat, sleep, where they do their business? Does he sleep in the bed with y'all or not?
Hell no. Little homie got the crate. He's sleeping there, and
I got you. I have a lot of my black friends that have dogs, and I don't know, some of my white friends, some of them rarely, but some of them do it too. But a lot of my black friends are like, yo, the dog knows at this point, this is where it stops. You're not going out here. My brother, actually, him and his girl, he inherited the dog, I suppose, and the dog used to come into the bedroom all the time. And I don't know, man. When a dog sees the alpha in the house, and it's like, yo, you're not coming into this room. Yo, the dog is like, all right, man. I'm over here. So I always find that interesting for sure, man. But anyway, let's get into some football talk. some folks have been getting on me because they thought I was overreacting yesterday on my show, and I do not feel I was overreacting. I thought I was hitting everything on the head because there was some brewing frustration from a Bills fan, and I'm gonna tell you, man, we are not pleased with that defensive performance. I don't know any Bills fans that can say, nah, man, we weren't as bad as, nah, bro, we were not good. The Bills were not good. Some might say we were soft. Some might say we got beat up. We got pushed around. Whatever word you want to use to describe what the heck happened to the Bills defense in that past game against the Rams, go ahead and use it. But I've done all the talking yesterday and the night before when my man Zebot and I went on and we just, we crashed out. But anyway, talk to me. This Rams-Bills game, first and foremost, is it an anomaly? Is it something that we will see again from this defense, in your opinion?
Can I cop out and say yes and no?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think there are things that what the Rams did that are very unique to who the Rams are.
Okay.
I know a lot of people would look at they were 6-6 coming into the game. That team was battered by injuries in the beginning of the year. They didn't have – you funny. Nah, I'm not going – not these hamstrings. Nah, signified nose. Nah, not these hamstrings. I got too much respect for Puka. But, I mean, Matthew Stafford was at the top of his game. Cooper Kupp and Puka were finally healthy. The offensive line was finally healthy. So, a little bit of an anomaly when you combine that with McVay. They were cooking. But I do think there were some symptoms from a Bills defense that you've seen all year that this offenses weren't able to take advantage of. A leaky run defense that allows explosive plays. And I know there were many explosive plays that the Rams had on the ground, but when the Bills started to put more bodies into the box to say, hey, we're not going to let you run, that's when they started hitting them over the head in the passing game. I don't know how many teams are well equipped in the AFC to do that, but I will say I told a lot of people after the game and all the hits I've done since then, it felt eerily similar to every postseason loss in terms of they weren't able to get to Matt Stafford. And I think that was the biggest takeaway that I had. The alarm isn't ringing for me. I'm not overly concerned. But when you get in the postseason, you're going to be playing against good quarterbacks like a Matthew Stafford. You're going to be playing up against maybe not Sean McVay, but offensive coordinators who are a step below that. So that was a little concerning from that standpoint.
I agree. There comes a time when you're in the heat of the moment, you're gonna say some things, you're gonna react certain ways, and that's why I love these Tuesday shows because depending on when the Bills play, it gives me a chance to reflect from my post game to a couple days to kind of reflect. But I felt the same freaking way all the way through. So, in a nutshell, we're not going to do the good, the bad, the ugly, but in your notes that you put on paper, what stood out to you that was a positive or positive? How many positives did you gain from this game? And what were the things that stood out to you that were, all right, bro, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. And we got to move on from that. What did you notice? What did you observe?
I got a lot of notes from the game, actually.
Talk to me, maybe.
Y'all can't read it all, but
I need some. Give the people some, man, because they need it.
Yeah, two things. Start with the back end. Christian Benford looked good.
Yes.
He looked really good. Even the passes that were completed on him, that's just a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback and a receiver at the top of his game just cooking. Not much you can do about that.
Yep.
So I thought he played well. And then I thought Von Miller actually was their best defensive lineman by far, not even close. He made some plays in the run game. He was very physical. He had some pass rushes to where if he had a running mate on the other side or anyone else that was competing with him, they would have looked much better in the box score. But unfortunately, it was just him creating pressure, so Stafford was able to escape. So I thought those two.
That's a nice way of you saying Epinesa was nowhere to be found.
Or Greg or Ed or Daquan. So yeah. And I think that. So I thought Von actually played well, full stop. I'm not even going to try to finagle my way into saying Von didn't. He played well. Now, some things that were a little bit alarming. We've seen it all year, but because they've played with leads, it's hard for teams to take advantage of it. But when you can run right at them, not side to side, not these tosses, these jet sweeps, where a couple of the jet sweeps they did take advantage of. When you're able to get downhill, they tend to struggle. because of the fact that they're lighter in there. The defensive tackles aren't the biggest bodies. Their linebackers aren't the biggest bodies. And you saw that with the Rams interior. I think Steve Avila is 330. Their left guard is 330. Their center is a big boy. Yep. You let them boys get their paws on you, it's hard to get up off of you. Yep. And you saw it in the San Fran game, but the game script didn't allow the 49ers to lean into it. And then you saw it last week as well, and you're going to see it this week as well with the Lions who get down the same exact way.
God.
So I think if there was one thing where you're like, I don't know, the AFC may not have the entire ecosystem like the Lions and the Rams have offensively, but the one thing that all of these AFC teams have, they can run right down Broadway. They're not great, maybe edge to edge, but the Chiefs, their best part of their offensive line are the three guys up front. They can run right downhill. Obviously, we know Baltimore can do it. The Steelers can do it somewhat. I don't know why they can't run the ball, even though they hang their hat on that. But I say all that to say the interior, the spine of the defense continues to be an issue.
Yes. You've mentioned it before. You've mentioned it at least 3 times. I know because I'm like, oh, spine of the defense. I've never heard that before. And you got me talking about spine of the defense. Well, God, we had no spine. The spine has been gone. We were like this, man. Like it's straightened up. And there was no straighten up. We couldn't even put our chin up. You know what I mean? Like you get what movie was it? I can't remember what movie where you know what I mean the gang beat down and said, yo, chin up, bro. Get your chin up. Let's go. Right? Bro, there was no, we got beat down. We just couldn't get back up. We couldn't do it. Any positives that you can share with more positives that you can share with folks that can say, okay, I can take solace in knowing that Carl witnessed or observed this and okay, that's not bad. Anything else in your notes that stood out that was like in the positive before we jump into the nitty gritty
for the defense
offense? I want to stay on the offense because that was the only positive. Anything that stand out that was positive
offensively? The screen game, you didn't need me to tell you that the screen game was great. Deion Dawkins, I'm actually going to sit down with him tomorrow and we'll get into that later in the show, but he could be an all-pro this year. He is looking that damn good. He is a dude. And Jared Verse, who is known to be a bull in the china shop, that works on a lot of tackles. It's hard to do that against a big boy who like to get down the same exact way. And Deion Dawkins was very effective. Josh was great. Khalil was great. So, I mean, there are a lot of things offensively where you can say we did our part. They weren't able to get a lot of displacement in the running game, just basically just moving a man from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But the passing game, I thought, showed a lot of promise, especially with how much they were targeting Amari Cooper. Like, they made an emphasis to say, yeah, we're trying to get him locked in for sure.
For sure. And I don't want to scoff because you said Deion Dawkins, bro. Who was it? Ben Fennell. Ben Fennell was pretty much letting people know, yo, Deion is nothing to play with. Neither is Jared Verse. Nah. And Deion was on his game, feet quick. You mean lock and snatch, all that good stuff was there with Deion Dawkins, bro. We talked about him last week. He continues to show that he's not just a Pro Bowler, bro. This guy is the real deal. And Josh Allen cannot be happier to have 7-3 holding it down on the left-hand side. You got to give a lot of credit to Deion Dawkins. Boy, that boy he was on one, man. He was on one. We love to see it. Offense, love the fact that we ran the screen and positive, and we got ourselves a tutty out of that. You got to love it. Defense. Is there reason to, I don't want to use the word panic. It's not a panic thing, but is there reason to be concerned going forward? Like, I know it's great, the silver lining that has happened now, early December, rather than in January where it's one and done. Oh, for what you've observed, reason to panic, and where was it that we were wrong? Spine of the defense, we understand, but were there any individuals that it wasn't their day?
I'll start with Matt Milano, and I don't want to sound the alarm or say, oh my gosh, he's a bad player, but I think he continues to look like a player who's been out for over a year.
Okay.
Just looks really hesitant, not soft or anything, but just indecisive, a guy who doesn't have the same feel for the game that he quite had when he was at his peak as an all-pro linebacker, which takes time, even for the best. But you do wonder, hey, how much runway are we going to give him? The postseason is around the corner here.
Right.
So if it continues to look this way, I guess, into the Jets game in about 3 weeks or so, that's when you might have to ring the alarm. Maybe even the Patriots game, to be quite frank, if he doesn't look great in that game either. he looked like a guy who's been out.
And we talked about it, right? He needed to get the dust off, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. So and I'm not a doctor. That's what everyone else is for. I'm not sure on like if that's the reason. I just know what he looked like at his peak, and he's just not looking like that right now. But I'm not overly concerned. Oh my gosh, get him off the field. I get why he's out there because you can always put Dorian back out there. But the upside of 58 is so much greater that, you know what, let's give him some runway to see if he can get this puppy going. But the concern that I do have is the pass rush because every single postseason it's been the same story.
Yes.
And you can tell me like, oh my gosh, like Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes are these great quarterbacks. Of course, they're going to be better at evading rushers. I've seen the Bengals and Chiefs play each other. Those games are slugfests, and not because they're like 50-50. They be giving Patrick Mahomes hell. Same thing with Joe Burrow. Like those games aren't always high scoring. They're able to, you know, conjure up blitzes and get pressure on each other. They did the same thing to Lamar Jackson last year in the postseason. Heck, the Ravens in the second half of that game was able to shut down the Chiefs offense. So you can't tell me that, oh my gosh, it's just good offenses. Like just let them win. These other teams figure out a way. Once again, not overly concerned because I think they'll have a massive test this week to show if that was an anomaly last week because the Lions have a fantastic offensive line. Taylor Decker practiced today, so they believe they're going to have all 5 of them up front. So if it's another concern this week where they're not getting pressure on Jared Goff, ring the alarm because for the next 3 weeks after that, it's the Patriots, offensive line, bad. Same thing with the Jets. Hate to break it to you. Those aren't the groups you're going to see in the postseason.
Oh man, I'll tell you, man. I felt really good. I didn't feel good going into the Rams game. I didn't. Something about the Rams, just Puka, Stafford, like just something didn't feel right. And this upcoming Detroit game, I felt good before the Rams game, thinking, okay, well, if they're gonna give some challenges, but we'll run through and handle business. After this Rams game, I'm actually very concerned going into the Detroit game now. Montgomery and Gibbs, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago when I was like, yo, man, I'm trying to go toe-to-toe on match. And you're like, fam, James Cook and Gibbs ain't the same. Nah. They're not the same. You know what I mean? Montgomery and Ray Davis, not the same. And fam, listen, I love James. I love Ray Davis. But, bro, Montgomery and Gibbs will be a problem. If little old Kyron Williams was able to do what he did to us, bro, we're going to have a long day with Campbell. Campbell don't care. You know what I'm saying? Campbell will exploit and he will embarrass us. You saw what he did to the Titans. He didn't care. 52 points on your Titans. Who else did he put 52 points on? He put a 50
the Cowboys. Burger. Yeah, the Cowboys.
Was it the Cowboys?
Yeah, they put 50 something on the Cowboys.
Put a 50 burger on the Cowboys. I guarantee you, he will try to put a 50 burger on the Bills
and the Jags.
It was the Jags. That's it.
Yeah.
They've put 40 points 4 times this year and 50 twice. The Jags, 50 burger on them boys, and the Titans, 50 burgers on those boys. Fam, if the Bills don't watch out, the Lions will not stop in any way, shape, or form. They're gonna put a statement together by trying to stomp out the Bills and say, we are top dogs in this thing, right? And we have a goal. McDermott has a uphill climb, sir. He has an uphill climb. Now, I'm going to ask you about some individual players. I need your thoughts because these have been some hot topics. And you've been part of this before. We talked about milk carton. And sometimes back in the day, there used to be, have you seen this child? Well, I've been doing this segment for the last 2-3 years now, and we've always wondering, have you seen this Bills player? Because we haven't seen this Bills player. Edward Oliver, fam. Bro, he came on and had a solid year last year, but he didn't get paid. So he had to prove himself that, yo, what y'all paid me, you're going to get full. And he did. This year, I don't know, maybe the check cleared, and now he's like, oh, that's what we paid me? So we good now? But fam, like, the interior, you want to talk about spine? He's part of the spine. I don't know if is he a C6 or is it the higher the number? Is he a C1? I don't know where he at in the spine. He's somewhere and he's not playing his part. He's not playing his part. Help me. Help Bills fans fight. Like, bro, where you at? And I'm probably putting you on the spot here, so I apologize.
No, good.
Man,
I'll
that's my first player.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like a bunch of the speaking with the players today, they got asked the same question about like, hey, what do you think about Ed's play this year? The numbers aren't there, and a lot of them said he's doing a lot of the dirty work that he didn't necessarily have to do in the past. So he's freeing up guys on certain plays, stuff of that nature. Having said that, I do think that they feel, especially McDermott, feels as if that they can get some more production out of him. You heard what Bobby Babish said on Monday, where you just got to start winning, right? It's more about that more than than anything. But because of the fact that the Ed Oliver conversation is magnified because they really don't have like these guys on the outside, and you pay Ed Oliver to be in that tier of a guy who wins from the inside, it makes it look much, much worse. Because if Von Miller can get you 4 pressures a game, and then Greg can get you 5 or 6, you're not relying on Ed Oliver to get you to be that guy. But since you paid him that way, I guess the expectations are. I say all that to say, do I think he's having some like disappointment, awful season? No. I think I think here's the best way I can describe it. On a down-to-down basis, I don't think he's all too different from last year. He's just not having the splash plays that he's had from last year to make up to make it pop. I think that's the difference. He's not getting the sack. He's not getting that one interception he got in that, I believe, the Patriots game or the forced fumbles or the TFL. That's the difference. Down to down, his grade is probably the same, but he doesn't have those splash plays to get the team off the field on 3rd down or to put a team in 2nd and 17. That's the biggest difference with it.
You would be a fantastic politician, I tell you. A fantastic politician.
I was a poli-sci minor. Major, actually. Major. I got my degree in political science.
There you go. There you go. Because you kind of, you know what I mean, you give me the wax off, a lot of massage. You know what I mean, and I don't blame you. I get it. I understand, but I got to push back just a little bit because the whole he's doing, and it's not you, it's them. I call cap. He's doing a lot of the dirty work that no, you can use that against us when Daquan Jones was hurt. We had to put him in the 1 tech. We had to put him to do the dirty work. He's not doing the dirty work anymore. We got Dwayne Carter back. He didn't have such a great game himself to that game, but you got Daquan Jones back. Don't cut the bull. He's a 3 tech. His job is to get after it. Put some pressure on. He's doing a lot of dirty work. Bull crap. I ain't buying it. Bobby Babbage, don't play us for a fool, man. We've been Bills fans for a long time. We were around when the team was some buns. We've had some success. We know what buns looks like, and we know what greatness looks like and what solid looks like. Ed Oliver's not giving us solid, man. And don't give us the whole, he's doing some of the dirty work. What, please, man? So if he's doing the dirty work, who's supposed to be doing what he's supposed to be doing? You feel me? Listen, I'm not a film guy. I'm not in the film room. So if for those that are, you want to come lambaste me because you're not understanding 20, then teach me. I'm all there for it. But anyway, that's player number 1. All right. Number 2, you spoke on Matt Milano, and it's evident that it's about the rust because we know what kind of player Matt Milano can be. So it is about the rust. Let's go to Rasul Douglas. Rasul. That's your position. That's your that position very well. And that's why I have to ask the professional now. Rasul Douglas, man, 3 DPIs. He didn't look good. Now, I don't know if we were gonna say he was hurt. I don't know if I could buy that. So, and then now he's might be out, potentially with a PCL. And that's coming from my guy, the Thigh Doc. So Thigh Doc is only going by what he sees. So let's just say Rasul Douglas is out. We're not done with Rasul, but let's just say he is out. Ingram over Kyer Elam, I find very interesting, but we'll get into that just a moment. But Rasul Douglas, rough day at the office. Was it just a matter of just the talent was just too much and just McVay was just too much? They just didn't put him in a good position. What say you on Rasul Douglas?
He just didn't have a good game, and it happens at that position.
True.
He's going. It's not like he's going up against some bottom of the roster guys, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, or a top 5, 6 tandem in the sport. And then when you got McVay and Stafford helping out, boost that up a little bit even higher. A couple of the reps, I felt as if that maybe his technique wasn't as solid as it could have been. A couple of the times, I felt as if he got a little over aggressive, but against those guys, you kind of got to match fire with fire. Like you can't soft pedal against Cooper or soft pedal against Puka because them boys, they big boys. You feel me? And I think that just a couple times the technique won there, and it happens. It truly does happen, especially. And Rasul knows this better. I've talked to Rasul about this back in the offseason where like the mindset you got to have to play corner. It's not like it's rock solid where like you always tell yourself, all right, shoot, next play. Sometimes it does have a bit of a snowball effect. Yeah, and I don't know if that's how it went Sunday. I'm not going to speak for him here.
No, for sure.
That can play a role, and it happens. I mean, I'm not concerned about it saying, oh my gosh, they got a problem at CB2. It just happens, man. The best corners get beat. Patrick Surtain and Jerry Jeudy got Surtain like a couple Monday nights ago, and I was like, dang, because Surtain is in his own tier of like good corners. Like it's Patrick Surtain and then everyone else. Even Jerry Jeudy was treating that boy like, hold on, we back at Alabama now, cuz like I ain't with that. So it happens. I'm not overly concerned with his play at all.
I get it. They always talk about being one of the toughest positions to play, and people say, "Oh, quarterback." Quarterback is it's in its own tier, right? After quarterback, man, it's got to be corner. Corner is the toughest position to play, and when you're going up against elite players, like bro, you can't take away anything from Puka. Puka came through. Puka was nice, man.
I will say the one thing. It's not a concern. It's just play styles. Rasul is much better in zone than he is man. And in a couple of those situations, the Rams forced the Bills to get into some man looks, and that's where they were able to exploit them. Having said that, if you find me 5 DBs that can go on the field and play man just as well as they can play zone, you found out you've created a Madden NFL team where they're all 99 overall. Like
right.
Christian Benford is still much better in zone than he is man. So, like,
but that brother held his own.
He did. But if you ask him to do that all damn game, like, but I'll the one pushback go. He doesn't travel and he doesn't follow ones. That is a whole different world than what like some of the other CB one. Like, watch Patrick Surtain how he follows Puka Nacua off the bus. Not taking anything away from Christian Benford because playing zone is still hard as shit.
Yep.
I just wanted to put that context.
No. I'm glad you did. Because a lot of people forget about that, or I wouldn't say forget. We gloss over that, right? Those true Darrelle Revis type cats that where you go, I go.
Yeah, and truthfully, the way the sport is now, it's hard to be that dude, man. You can't grab dudes no more. You can't be physical with them. The receiver is not like just a receiver's lining up outside no more. They inside, outside, getting rub routes, pick routes. It's tough.
Do you find that the Rams style of play? There's going to be a similar style of play coming from the Lions, and are we going to be facing? Golly, so we're in for another one. We're in for another.
Yeah, like they're not the same team because Jared Goff is not Matthew Stafford. They may not have Puka Nacua, and they're like, but like in terms of at their core, don't get it twisted. Since over the past 2 years, what the Rams want to do is beat the hell out of you in between the tackles, play action boot, and get to their best players. Well, that's what Detroit like to do. They wanted Detroit, and that's what the Rams did. They beat you down Broadway, and then once you worry too much about that, go outside. Obviously, anyone who's watched 5 seconds of a Detroit Lions game knows that's the same way they get down.
All right. Let's take a break before we go back to the players because I want to stay with the players, but nothing to do with this game in terms of the players. We got a little bit of some practice information on who was practicing today and who wasn't. So here's what it's looking like. We had a lot of full participants practicing. Casey Toohill limited, and I mean we ain't losing too much with Casey. You got Taylor Rapp that's dealing with a neck shoulder injury. This boy's throwing himself at everybody, man. This guy's killing our own players. Golly. And we also got obviously Rasul Douglas that did not practice, so there's a chance he may not play. All right. So Keon Coleman has been a full participant, so we could see Keon in this upcoming game. We might have a full offense ready to go. And guess what? Not only Keon Coleman, but we could potentially see Dalton Kincaid full practice ready for this game. So offensive firepower is going to be crazy. Lovely to see it. Looking forward to it, a full offense. And this will be interesting to see how we integrate Kincaid back in and Keon alongside trying to get the ball to all the other cats, right? And it's a great problem to have. Now, that being said, when we're looking at what's taking place, right? The injuries, guys coming back, so on and so forth, it brings me down to coach making a decision on Rasul Douglas potentially being out. And now we got to deal with Kyer Elam thinking that he's going to go in, where he's the prototypical size for a corner, speed for a corner. He's supposed to be the man-to-man guy, yet he is bypassed yet again. He was put on the inactive list last week. Jamarcus Ingram gets it. Now, ain't no slight on Jamarcus. He nice. He's a UB cat. He's coming through. Man, how do we explain that? Is he that much, based on what you've seen and based on what coach says, is he that much better than Kyer Elam?
I'll say this. I honestly did think that Jamarcus Ingram looked really good during training camp. He looked like a guy who could develop into an adequate starter at minimum in this league. Like his length, his fluidity, he looks really good out there. I think the one thing that gives him a jersey over Kyer from an outsider's perspective is his special teams capability. I think he's more willing to do that. Or not more willing, but he's more capable and excels at it better. And for whatever reason, I know that in the past people said it was John Butler and him and Kyer not getting along. I think that's been widely reported enough that was something there, but there's a new staff here now, and not new staff, but new secondaries coach now, and it's still the same. So I think that at this point, it maybe says something about Kyer, the player. And then today, when McDermott was asked who's next up, said they'll determine it week by week, and basically just saying like Jamarcus has earned his reps as opposed to maybe Kyer not. So I say all that to say that if based on everything that we've seen over the past month, I think 46 gets to start on Sunday. Assuming Rasul's out.
Assuming Rasul's out, I would agree. And I'll tell you right, coach says, I don't know who followed up with a question, and they said, is it more about Ingram earning it more than Kyer, or Kyer just not earning it? And he was like, it was just more about Ingram wanting it and earning it more. Pretty much saying, Ingram's the better fit. Straight up and down. Just saying. Ingram's the better fit, which is so disappointing with Kyer because he hasn't been horrible. He hasn't. Right. He's made plays when he's on the field. I guess Ingram is the better fit. And it sucks because Ingram made a good stop in that game, but then they threw the flag and my man was holding. So maybe there's something that we obviously clearly don't see that McDermott does. Now, McDermott making these decisions. Let's talk about McDermott and his decision making. What say you with the whole 3rd and 17 call when he could have decided to decline and have the Rams 4th and 7, or what he did was accept and push the Rams back 10 yards. Potentially, maybe his thought process was putting them out of field goal range, and we'll take our chances with that. What say you initially, not now that you've thought about it, but initially when that play happened, if you recall, where were you leaning? Accept or decline? I'm curious because, we've beaten over a dead horse, but this is the last horse we're going to beat, and we don't.
Yeah. If it was, there's like 5 coaches in this bucket, but if there was like 25 other NFL coaches, I would say accept it. Because it was Sean McVay, and he's very conservative at nature. Anyone who's watched the NFL, like the offensive genius gurus, you would think would be aggressive. They're actually not. Like Sean McVay historically is a guy who is not, he don't go for it on 4th down. Same thing with Kyle Shanahan. Same thing with Matt LaFleur from Green Bay. Like all those guys just are conservative. So going into it, I'm like, it's 4th and make him go 4th and 7. He's not going to go for that shit anyways. Come to find out, he was going to go. Now that we have hindsight,
did he say he was going to go for it? Because I haven't seen.
He was going to go for it regardless. So like now that we know that,
okay.
But in the moment, I'm like, it's Sean McVay. He doesn't do this. He doesn't go for this. He's not that guy.
Got it.
But in the moment, based off the game script, their defense hadn't stopped them. Stopped the Bills the entire second half. They were going to go for that regardless.
Going for that regardless. Now, and I want to get your thought because I thought about some more last night, and I was talking to my brother earlier today too, and he and I were talking about the game, and I was like, fam, it's a lot more pressure for offensive coordinators. So I got one shot. I got to dig into my bag. Although I'm going for it,
right?
I gotta. There's more pressure, not only on the coach but on the player. But when you've given them 2 opportunities, I'm gonna take my best shot so I can get. And then if you get momentum, you see that you're cooking this team, then you have more opportunities to nail it. But the fact of the matter is, he was gonna go for it regardless.
And some explanation, not from him, but from another account that I was listening to, that coaches are starting to realize here, and stay with me for a second here, people. Yeah. The Rams were up 3 in the moment. If they would have kicked a field goal, it would have been up 6.
Yep.
And doing that, you're forcing the Bills to be aggressive and go for it on 4th down all the entire drive. So you got to stop them 4 times, basically.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out the drive aggressive. But if you don't get that and you're only up 3, the Bills don't have that extra rocket up their butt to automatically go for it on 4th down because they need it. That's the difference as to why offensive coordinators in this moment, in this day and age, tend to just go for it, because on the other hand, we got to stop these boys 4 times to get 10 yards as opposed to maybe just 3.
It's so funny to mention that, because there was, I don't know who it was. I don't know. And you would remind me. There was somebody that was in this very situation that ended up making the poor decision and lost the game due to that. And then there was another team that actually went for it and was aggressive, knowing that, bro, I'm going to go for it anyway. And I can't recall what teams they were. I don't know if it was the Ravens. Who knows? But I totally understand exactly what you're saying. And it makes sense, right? Knowing what you know of who's across on the other side of the field, 17, is just seething to get back into the game and just put the business on y'all because you haven't been able to stop me all day and you're not about to. McVay's like, we ain't about to do that.
Correct.
Run that.
We can't stop him on 3 downs, let alone 4. So we're not even about to try that.
Facts. All right. So staying on McDermott. The 4th down play. Your thoughts on the 4th down? Excuse me, not the 4th down. Yeah, the 1st and goal play. Excuse me.
Yeah.
1st and goal. Timing, calling the timeout rather than not calling the timeout. Sneak. Did you notice initially where you're like, yo, what formation is that? What are they doing? Why is Josh? All right, come in, come on. No, hold on. Did you see there was a bit of chaos in that moment? Did it seem like it was prepared? Did you have any inkling that McDermott had nothing to do with that, and that was pure Joe and Josh? Or what insight could you have, or your thoughts in general? Based
off what I know with play calling, the offensive coordinator, the play caller, tends to have head honcho, like tend to run the ship there.
Okay.
And then head coach gets final say, yay, nay. So if I had to guess, this was a Brady and Josh Allen collab effort. Sean McDermott says, fuck no, do something else, or yes, I'm with it. So that's where I think in terms of the decision-making process.
It's weird because he briefly touched on it, but McDermott was like, I would have loved to kind of run the ball a little bit more. The game to kind of have control, because he likes to kind of, hey, slow it down, man. We too much now. Slow it down a little bit. And Joe Brady's like, no, we gotta go. And Josh's like, and I'm sure there was some kind of, but he's got to put some trust in there. I found that interesting, because had they had those 3 timeouts, who knows what would have happened. But is there a silver lining in this loss? Do you find a silver lining somewhere in this loss for these boys, or this was just a bad loss, period? You got to move on with it and just hope for a better prepared team going into Detroit.
The silver lining is that no Diggs, no Gabe, new everything, new Mitch Morse, whatever, new OC. Come playoff time, if you need to empty the clip on offense, Josh Allen can still do it with the pieces around him. I think that is the silver lining in this game, that if you had some concerns on could the offense hit 180 on the freeway if need be, like they've done like in a couple postseason games.
Yep.
If you had some concerns on if they could reach that level, and I know the Rams defense is, I'm going to be polite, just not great.
Nope,
it's not, especially the back 7. It'll be one of the worst units they've seen all year. But they showed on Sunday that if it's time to put that Ferrari in sport mode, they can do it.
They absolutely can do it. Now, let's kind of flip a little bit. You with me so far? You got time?
I'm chilling. The dog quiet. I don't even know where he at. I hope he ain't tearing up the house. I'm gonna get cussed
He
out.
definitely turned up the house. You know when they're quiet, there's like kids, man. They turn up. Yo, hold on. You just got to go. Hey, and see if they're still around. All right. Here we go. So I want to go back to this Rams, and then we're done because it's nothing to do with Josh, nothing to do with the team in itself. 3 phases to the game, and special teams let us down. Unfortunately, twice. I'm not even talking about the block punt. Just sometimes a play happens, man. Somebody got caught lacking. That was our guy Reed Ferguson, normally a pretty stout dude where he don't let nothing slide by, and that's that. And we know things happen, but golly, having 9 players on the field, I'm sure McDermott was absolutely sick that he even had to answer to that again, because it happened last year. Bro, special teams, bro. We know. The play before, it normally sounds like this. All right, punt team, punt team, punt team, punt team. Everybody get ready, get ready, get ready. Start. We know. So you know your position. You know, like I can't understand how something like this happens. When McDermott spoke on it, did you sense of like, yes, yeah, I know, or was he just like, what was your sense when he had to explain himself about that? Because they grilled him. 9 guys, McDermott, like really?
I will say this. You say they grilled him. He brought it up unprovoked on Sunday. No one even brought it up, the fact that there were 9 players.
He knew.
He brought it up. So I think it was something that was bothering him a little bit. The fact that, like, no one asked, like, because everything happened so fast, like, us as reporters didn't have time to look out there and see how many players were out there. True. And unprovoked at the press conference, he said something along the lines of, yeah, we got to be better at the end of the game. We only had 9 players out there. And everyone was like,
huh? What?
The hell you mean you only had 9 players out there? So I think he was, as he should. I mean, he was agitated as hell today. It wasn't really about that, but you can tell that was something that was definitely on his mind. And whatever the time in between 0-0-0 and coming to the podium, he had some nice conversations with the staff, I imagine, over that.
I don't know, man. Something tells me Smiley might not be back next year. I'm just putting it out there. Speaking of not being back next year, before we get into other segments and conversations, a lot of Bills fans are not happy with Coach McDermott. I, being one of them that like McDermott a lot, I'm a big fan of McDermott, but I'm also in the camp of get or get off the pot, aka Super Bowl or bust, aka Super Bowl or you gone. Is that an overreaction for fans such as myself, knowing the history of the team, knowing the history of us in the playoffs, knowing the history of other coaches that haven't had the time that McDermott has had? Yeah, but what about Mike Tomlin? He hasn't won enough. Mike Tomlin, when he had an elite quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, won. He hasn't had an elite quarterback, but yet has not had a losing season since. Some might say he's credible enough to keep his job. I know some Steelers fans are like, yo, get this guy out of here. He hasn't done anything. Craziness to me. But I asked this question because me saying, yo, that's crazy. Why would you even think about getting rid of Tomlin? I'm sure there are other fan bases listening to Bills Mafia saying, what? You guys want to get rid of McDermott? Are y'all stupid? Right. But yet we're sitting here going, fam, he's had 7-8 years to try to get this thing done, and he just can't seem to get it done. And we lose in the same fashion every year in the playoffs. You got to win or you're out of here. Do you think it's an overreaction for folks that are thinking this way? And I'm asking you not as Carl, the reporter. Yeah. I'm asking Carl as a football fan, and when you're watching this, and you got no horse in this thing, right? So,
no.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's too soon, and I know I'm not from Buffalo. Not on the
team. And that's why I asked you. This is perfect.
Yeah, not really could give 2 craps if they win or not. Like, no disrespect to people in the chat, right. But like that's just not my affiliation. I think he's a darn good coach, and I think that It's hard to win in this league. It truly is. And I know you got 17, who is the second best player in it, playing the best in the league this year and second best player in the sport. And you say, hey, man, you got to win with a guy like that. And I get it. Only reason I ain't mad at that because you got a Bron Abbey, and I'm from Cleveland, so I rock with Bron. So shout out to you, Signify. But I think he's a good coach. And I think that in a single elimination sport, it is really hard to win it. It is truly, truly hard. Like, I will say, though, if the manner in which they lose is the same exact way they've lost the previous 4 years, I'm not going to count the Texans game. I think that was his own, hey, we own the scene. What's up, right?
Right.
Then I think some conversations need to be had, because when you point to all of these numbers, the defense looks good, team looking good, regular season, but then when you get to the postseason, it doesn't necessarily translate.
Right.
That's when some questions need to be arise and say, okay, maybe this just isn't it. Once the calendar turns January 1st, it doesn't connect. But right now, I like him. He's a very good culture guy. The players love him. They play hard for him.
He hasn't lost a locker room whatsoever.
He hasn't.
And they're 10-3 a lot.
But if that part isn't fixed, and it looks because all 4 playoff losses, 3 Chiefs and Bengals, all look the same exact way defensively. And offense didn't play good against the Bengals, but all 4 have looked the same. You've let those 2 quarterbacks build campfires. It can't look like that again this year. And I know he ain't out there rushing the passer. I get it. That is player personnel, and some of that attention needs to be given to Brandon Beane. But unfortunately, some people take the fall for that.
And this is where I'm at, and it's unfortunate because I'm so glad you brought it up. You lost 3 times to the Chiefs. You lost to the freaking Burrow-led Bengals, right? Fam, like, you can't have this again. All the stuff you did in the regular season is cool. Now we're in the playoffs, and it happened again the same way. Your defense, bro, something's got to give at one point. So that's why it's tough as a GM. And as a GM, put your GM hat on real quick. You as a GM wanted certain player. Let's say Lamar Jackson. I want Lamar Jackson, and I'm your coach, and I tell you, bro, no. The next class is going to be sick, bro. Don't just chill. And I go ahead and grab the quarterback that I have. You're happy with him, but every year Lamar Jackson keeps beating our butt. And I'm like, and that's the guy I wanted? And he's the one to keep beating our butt? And that's your job to stop him? And it has to happen. Bro, we got a problem. We can't have it a 4th time, is what I'm saying. So the microscope better be on my man McDermott. I'm sure he knows it. And if it doesn't happen this year, the hot seat is hot from jump in the offseason. And I'll tell you right now, he already balled. He's not losing any more hair. You feel me? But the pressure's going to be on that brother, man. Anyway, so I found that very interesting. But Detroit, here we come. We're about to get into Detroit. Any notes on Detroit that you'd like to share some folks, or you haven't done your homework yet on the Detroit Lions?
No, one of my college homeboys play for the Lions, so I'm tapped in with them boys all year.
Let's tap in right now, man. Detroit Bills.
I'll start on the offensive side of the ball.
Let's go.
If they're not the best offense in the sport, they are 1B. They can do everything. They can run the rock. They can throw the rock. They can punish you. They can play a track meet. Led by their offensive line that is very powerful. All 5 of them can play. They're probably the second best O-line in the sport behind the Eagles. Jared Goff is not the same Jared Goff that lost in the Super Bowl. He's much more confident. He can make a lot of daring throws over the middle. They have a really good receiving core led by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams, now that he's on the field and not gambling, he is balling. Tim Patrick has been a nice third weapon. Sam Laporta, the tight end taken after Dalton Kincaid, is balling. Maybe not to the same extent this year, but he's still a great player. And then what makes their team go is the fact that they have one of the best running back tandems that we've seen in quite some time. David Montgomery is physical, but don't get that mistaken. He can catch the ball out of the backfield too. I think he has like 30 catches on the year. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, I saw a comparison the other day, and I think it fits. He's like the 2024 version of Jamal Charles, where he just has like 3 rockets up his behind, and he's just nice like that. He can go from 0 to 100. He's just really good. And I think James Cook is a very good back, and he's good in open space. Jahmyr Gibbs just gets up to top speed much quicker. Like, he's just one of those guys where you're like, damn, he should be like a DB or something. Like, no, he played running back. So that's offensively. Defensively, they're a good unit. They play a lot of man coverage. For the fans at home, you ain't gonna need me to tell you what the coverage the Lions playing, because the DB gonna line up right here, and the other DB gonna line up right here. They all playing man. I think they play man at like the second highest rate in the league. So like Terrion Arnold, a young cornerback, Carlton Davis, another one. Yep. For my money, they have like the top 3 safety in the sport, and Brian Branch, he's great. Kirby Joseph is good as well, probably the best tandem. Where they're different, and it's not their fault, they have, I believe, 11 players on their defensive line on IR.
Now, somebody was trying to get on your ass last time. They're like, yo, Carl just named a whole bunch of guys that are insignificant that are on IR.
Okay, and then you know what? You tell me if Aiden Hutchinson is insignificant. Tell me
he only named Aiden Hutchinson, and the rest of them were guys like, who cares?
Okay, you tell me if they're starting, like there's Marcus Davenport, they're starting defensive end. Is he insignificant?
Talk your shit, baby. Talk your shit. Let's go.
And then if you want to go to their starting linebackers from day one, Alex Anzalone.
Yep, that's right.
Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez. These are names that y'all know. These ain't even me diving deep. And then now these guys, they did get activated, so there's a chance they will play this week. But they've been without DJ Reader. I know y'all know his ass. He was with the Bengals, terrorizing the Bills. I know y'all know Aleem McNeil. He just got paid $90 million. He's been out for a minute.
I want Aleem McNeil for the Bills, actually.
Josh Pascal, y'all know that damn name. So, like, I'm not naming, no disrespect to these Bills players. It's not like I'm naming DeJuan Smoot. Aiden Hutchinson was going to run away with the different. Aiden Hutchinson is still top 10 in defense in pressure rate. You know the last time Aiden Hutchinson played? It wasn't even Halloween yet. So, like respectfully to everyone out there who's like, they're missing guys, but no one gives a crap. It's the NFL. Everyone gets hurt. But to where I think they can get got is that unit right there. They just running out of bodies, and I think that's the place where the Bills can really run the ball and pass protect really, really well.
I love that. Let's keep talking the lines and the notes you have for how these Bills, like, do we match up well? Is this a bad matchup for the Bills?
Defensively, yes. It's the same. Like I said, it's the same. Yep. If you were as a fan at home, if you were to describe a unit to attack the Bills, you would say someone who could run the ball. Well, outside of maybe the Eagles or the Ravens, I think this team is equipped to do so, and the passing game behind it. But on the other end, I think they can be got defensively. With all the man coverage they play, I think Josh Allen can really make some stuff cook. The Bills' offensive line, don't get it twisted. They ain't too far behind the Lions. They can do their own thing, and they can create some stuff. So it'll be a track meet. Like, I don't know if it'll be in the 40s again, because, I mean, that game didn't have any punts. I mean, that thing had 2 punts. Right. But it's going to be a lot of teams going, like a lot of fourth down attempts and a lot of track meet for sure.
Who's got the advantage in this game when it comes to coaching?
That's interesting, because the Lions have the new hot shot offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. Like, Ben Johnson is going to get whatever job he wants. You've heard that. Nice. I mean, he turned down like 3 jobs last cycle.
Yep.
To come back to Detroit. So I think he's great. And then you can also say Aaron Glenn. Like, if the top, now that Bill Belichick is in North Carolina, the top 2 hottest names for like the next like head coach is probably the 2 Lions coordinators and Aaron Glenn. Y'all know that name. He was an NFL player.
I'm not buying Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn last year's defense wasn't great.
It wasn't.
This year they happened to be a little better, but not that much better.
I'm just telling you, that's what, like, he's going to be a head coach. And like in a month, he's going to be a head coach.
I've heard the same thing.
And then
so coaching, would you say the advantage goes to the Lions?
Yeah, but it's not like, and I don't want to put Ben Johnson in this tier, because I know he's done great things in Detroit, and I'm not going to undersell that. But Sean McVay is so, like, revered in his own way. He has a bowl. He's been to another one. I can't say Mick Johnson is in that tier. Joe Brady, don't get it twisted. He's nice too, all right? Like, give him another year. I think he can be putting some head coaching talks as well. So, like, would I give it to the Lions? Yeah, but it's not like some master class, like, oh my gosh, they stand no chance in that department.
All right, let's go to the receiver room. Bills receiver room, Lions receiver room.
That's a good one. I would probably lean Bills.
Who's the X factor that makes you lean towards the Bills?
If Keon plays, because I think Amon-Ra is better than Khalil, but it's not like, oh my gosh, it's not like Amon-Ra, Khalil trash. Like, y'all would take Amon-Ra, but like, cool, Khalil right there with him. Yeah.
Got you.
I think Amari Cooper is better than J-Mo.
Okay.
But they're better in different ways.
Different receivers.
Yeah, they're different receivers. I like Tim Patrick, but like, is Mac Hollins that much worse than what Tim Patrick can give you? Okay. Especially with Josh Allen. That's the caveat. Because I don't know if Mac Hollins is doing what he's doing in Detroit. But if Keon is playing and up to speed and looks like what he can do, I think you would give the advantage there.
Defensive line.
If it's anything like we've seen the last month, the Bills.
You thought about it?
I thought about it because they get back 4 defensive linemen this week. And if they get back, they start like if all the starters come back outside of Aiden Hutchinson and Davenport, make it a little closer. But I would still go Bills because I think Gregory Rousseau is by far the best player in that unit out of those units.
Linebacking crew.
I don't know if the Lions got anyone healthy. I would go Bills all day.
Jack Campbell's still healthy, right?
He is healthy. Yes, he is the one out there. Actually playing solid. I don't know if he's like.
He's playing solid. He's solid.
He's solid.
He ain't got the speed, but he a thumper. He's a thumper.
You can say that again.
He'll get after you. How do you feel about cornerback? And this is where I don't say he's a weak link, but he's someone you could definitely exploit, and that's Arnold.
Yeah, it's because I like him. He a fight dude. He in your face, but he's going to draw some But he's gonna draw some flags. I think he leads the NFL in penalties, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he's got like 19.
Yeah, and some of that is due to the fact they play so much man. Like they play man a lot, but you can play man without grabbing as much as he do. He was a handsy guy at Bama. I think this is just who he is. Yeah. So I mean, if you guys just want to know how much man a team plays, just look at the left column and cover 1, which means you got a deep safety and one of the linebackers is underneath. The Lions play it 40% of the damn time.
Crazy.
That is absurd.
I got that tweet from you actually, and I brought it in, and I'm thinking they're gonna play cover 1, and they're gonna spy. They're gonna spy the heck out of Allen. Yeah. And this is where but who you gonna get to spy? It certainly ain't gonna be Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
You need someone that's got the athleticism to kind of keep up with them. Yeah, this game is giving me anxiety. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Real talk is giving me anxiety. I feel good. I don't feel good anymore.
This is good. I think it'll be a good game. I think the Bills can clap. I mean, as long as you got 17 on your sideline, you should always have a puncher's. Not even say a puncher's chance. They can knock people out. Let's not not play with the Bills' names here. I do want to mention they do got Zadarius Smith now. They did trade for him.
Yes, they do. They got a pass rush, man.
He can do some things. As someone who watched the Browns, he was really good opposite of Myles Garrett. But I think the Lions probably get the edge in secondary if Rasul doesn't play because their safety tandem is the best in the sport, like full stop. Like Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph is
that's
them boys can bark. But Christian Benford and Taryn are the best corners for sure.
How do you feel? And this is I don't want to put you in a position because you're in the locker room, so I can't do that. But you have to be objective. Our safety room, is it? Do you feel like you can keep up with the likes of and the creativity of Ben Johnson, and with the likes of J-Mo, with a little bit of Tim Patrick, with Sam Laporta, with Gibbs? Like, I don't know, man. And then now you got Taylor Rapp. That's not, in the greatest shape. So who you got on safety? Is it Lewis Cine? Could we see Lewis Cine jump in there and get some reps out?
He's been lining up as solely backer, so I don't know if he would even get a chance there. He's been at backer at practice. He is only with the linebackers only.
Interesting. So that'll be interesting. I love seeing him as an active player.
Yeah,
loved it. But he's as a backer.
Yeah, okay. I will say the one thing about the safeties and with our pregame show on Sunday.
Yep,
I was close to making this our key to the game, but I made it a little bit bigger than this. Taylor Rapp is one of the best safeties in terms of just like putting a cap on a play. Like how many runs that have stopped at 12 or have stopped at 8 that could have been 60 or 70, or even plays that did go for 50 that he stopped at 50 and didn't prevent it from going to the end zone. That's how he didn't hurt Christian McCaffrey. That's the play where Christian McCaffrey got hurt. He kept him out of the end zone. Yep. He got so many plays like that. And when you go up against two of the best just rocket guys in the league, and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams. DeMar Hamlin, whoever the other safety is going to be, it could be Taylor Rapp or maybe even Nicole Bishop. You got to make sure your angles are right. Make sure you bring in your hard hat because them boys get to the edge. It ain't no stopping them.
And you just gave me more anxiety when it comes to this game, man. I'm not going to lie. I can't cap. I felt great. Ask me this, like, you mean a week ago, I would have been, yo, bring them on. Now, the Rams, they got me all effed up, bro. They got me all effed up. The way Puka did it to us and the way Matthew Stafford, now, I got to give credit to Matthew Stafford because he's one of them ones too, man. He can play. And he had us going. We had no answer for him. Jared Goff certainly is not Matthew Stafford.
Correct.
But he ain't no B either. He can play.
Correct.
So, man, the way these Bills they play defense, you can only go up from here. So you hope that these guys come in and they come up with a hell of a game plan. Bobby Babbage has got his hands full. He's got to handle it. But yeah, man. So I'm actually glad that you were able to kind of be transparent in your thoughts on McDermott, future with the team. You still feel he's got a future with his team, which I respect. You know what I mean? Some players got to step their game up. We'll see. And Jamarcus Ingram, 6'2", good size. He's got the speed, so I can see. I mean, you can't tell me length and strength when it comes to Kyer when you got it with Jamarcus Ingram. So it was just a matter of instincts at this point. And it looks like instincts come much easier for our guy, Jamarcus Ingram, over Kyer Elam. So maybe we see both these guys on the field. Who knows? Because Lord knows we're going to need something because those boys are going to get after us. Now, I got a couple super chats I want to get into, and then we got to get into some topics here. My man Signified No says, Rico, what's the bare minimum finish in the playoffs to not have McDermott, not have the McDermott conversations? Carl, feel free to answer this as a neutral observer. You've heard me say this before, Signified. It's Super Bowl or bust. I got to stick to it. Whether Pagula brings him back, that's a whole nother ballgame. But if it were me, it'd be painful. It'd be a very painful conversation. Bro, it's Super Bowl or bust. And if he doesn't make the Super Bowl, we had this conversation, man. So, it's been great. It's been real. We gotta look in a different direction. But the only thing that I do hate about this situation is if you move on from McDermott, you also move on from Joe Brady, possibly. You also move on from Bobby Babbage, possibly. So the whole you cleaning house. And this team is too good to clean house. So that's where my dilemma is. You can't just move on from coach when you got all this that we're building. So that's how I stand with it, and it's tough. I would move on, but then I'm also fearful of the grass ain't always greener on the other side. So, like, you can't just do those moves. So I'm conflicted. I feel the way I feel, but I'm very conflicted. What say you as a neutral observer?
To not have any conversation at all, I think if he makes it to the AFC Championship game, I think you don't really need much conversation. They haven't been to that round since 2020, the COVID year.
Yeah.
If they can finally get it out of the divisional, you can, if there is a hot seat, it will be very, 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 very cool if he can at least make it there.
What if it was Kansas City?
See, here's how I feel about it, and
talk to me
as a neutral observer. I don't think it really matters who you lose to. Your ass didn't get there, so like that's how I feel as a neutral observer. And I know as a fan, it can feel different because it's always the same team. Like, and I would feel much different probably if it was like Michigan preventing Ohio State. Oh wait, that is how it's been the past 3 years. Damn. But so because of the fact that like I'm not like in that position, you're just not reaching your goal. It doesn't matter who's across from you.
Listen, I'll stay with that. We got another one, super chat coming in from my man PVC fan. What up, fam? He comes and says, outside of quarterback, where are we better than Detroit? You kind of answered it with the questioning that I was questioning. He says, again, Allen will have to cover up the lack of talent and coaching. For the most part, it looks like defensive backfield. I think you like Detroit's defensive backfield.
Yeah, I like it.
Over the Bills' defensive backfield.
But I don't think there is a spot to where the Bills are severely overwhelmed to where, like, oh my God, Josh Allen got to do some crazy carry job. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, like the Lions have a good O-line. Like, the Lions have a great O-line. Yeah, the Bills do too. Like, yes, they may have the best running back room in the league. Okay, the Bills have a good one too. Like, both receiver cores are very similar. I'm taking the Bills linebackers. I'm taking the Bills defensive line. Although when you add Zadarius Smith and then Ali McNeil and Zach Pascal and DJ Reader, that changes things.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think I think just the Lions are a well-oiled machine, and I think that's the difference. They just play really well together. I don't think put it like this. They're not last year's San Francisco 49ers where they had 8 All-Pros on the damn team. This is not them. That's the difference, and I want people to understand that.
My man Pierre goes, yeah, man, Puka got us rethinking some things. Yo, bro, Puka got me rethinking everything, bro. Puka? I'm thinking Puka everything, man. And I found out what Puka means. Puka means fat kid. Or he was getting fat in the secondary. He was eating. That boy was killing us, man. Puka's a real deal.
I got a question for y'all.
Yeah,
if that was Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, would you feel any different?
In terms of what? What do you mean?
Like, our secondary is not playing well, or the defense?
Absolutely. So
it's not the player who did that. It's just the fact that it was somebody that did that.
It wasn't just the player, because we faced some pretty damn good receivers as well, and we were able to kind of put some things together. Puka just knew where to sit, knew how to exploit. He exploited everybody.
Yeah, no, he did the same.
He said, "Give me your lunch, give me your lunch, give me your lunch too." He took everybody's lunch, man. Bedford tried to hold on to it. You know what?
I know where you about to go.
Puka was Debo. Debo said, give me your chain. Give me your chain. I'll tell you right now, my man Benford tried to tuck his chain in. You know what I mean? And Debo still said, give me that. I'm telling you. And it sucks because, Puka, you got to give respect to Puka. You got to give respect to Puka. But, Puka was Debo. Debo said, give me every one of y'all chains. And we ran back to the old hoopty. My mama gave me that chain, man. That's how it felt. Oh, man. And now we're going up against Laporta. We're going up against J-Mo with some speed. Bro, this got me rethinking everything, bro.
I'll just say this. Puka like that. And I think that if his name was Jamar Chase, I think people would feel a little bit different.
But why would we feel he gave us the business? We've been hearing about Puka, though, last year.
And I just think that,
if rookie.
I'm not saying you, but I think certain Bills fans, they think Puka, he all right. Puka like that, bro.
You like that.
I can't rank top 5 or nothing like that. But, if someone said Puka Nacua was the 4th best receiver in the league, I'd be like, cool. And I guess that's why, I'm not panicking about that, because Puka can do this to just about anybody.
Bro, listen, they had a stat. Ever since Puka's been back, he's been the 4th most targeted receiver. He's only been back 4 weeks. 38 or something stupid like that, bro. Puka that dude, man. They got something special with Puka, man. Don't break the band up over there. Keep Cup. They were trying to move on from Cup. What are you doing? Keep Cup and keep Cooper. All right, cool. You got me messing up all the names, man. Yeah, it is what it is. My man Dan Echo, I got you this time, bro. Dan Echo says, Super Bowl appearance, Minnesota for McDermott to keep job. Hold on, am I getting that right? Oh, Super Bowl appearance minimum for McDermott to keep his job. Progression, not stagnation. Wasting Allen's prime would be unforgivable. How often have you seen, either in IG messages, tweets, DMs, bro, they're wasting Allen's prime? How often do you hear that or see it?
I see it all the time. I get people talking to me. It can be random stuff. The people trying to get it off their chest. I can say, yeah, man, not a good day by the D tackles. Yep, them boys wasting Josh Allen prime. Damn. It can be anything. You can say, man, the Sabres suck today. Yep, they wasting Josh Allen's prime.
Buddy.
I mean, I get it. I'm a fan too of stuff. I get it. That's what makes sports so damn good. And for everyone out there who, they crazy for saying this, that's what makes sports great. It's the passion, it's the fanatic part of it, it's the lunacy, it's the delusion, all that stuff make sports great. Great
comment, my man, from Dan Echo. Here's one for you, bro. Carl, do you think Dorian should have more snaps over Milano?
The Super Bowl is not played tomorrow, so no. I'm actually with the Bills on their plan of let's see if we can get him ramped back up before things start to matter. And I'm saying things don't matter now, but if you get him ramped up and get him looking to even 90% of what he was, 90% of Milano is better than the best version of Dorian Williams today. So I think I see.
Bring it back. You said 90% of Milano is better than Dorian Williams today?
90% of Milano may not be an all-pro, but he's a Pro Bowler. That's how I think of it. Like,
okay. So where do you think he's at right now?
I don't want to put a number on it, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Okay. Respectfully.
It's not good. No, I'm not saying 90% today. No. My bad. He is not 90%.
I know you're not. But you're saying a 90%. If he's 90% of Milano, I would take him too. Don't get me wrong. But right now, I don't know where he's at. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this. I got to show it to you real quick.
If you about to show me the Blake Corum thing, I seen it, dog. I seen it.
No. I don't got to show you the Blake Corum thing because Lamar did it to him a few years ago. Trust me, Lamar. We've seen that act before from Milano where he goes, broken ankles, broken kneecap, all that stuff. We've seen it. But have you seen this? Matt Milano, let me just move this out the way. When it comes to the PFF grade, did you see his PFF grade? 38.9.
I didn't see that. That's not good.
Nah, bro, it was rough. Now, and for those that some people don't respect PFF, I get it. Some people are like, I don't really do the PFF thing. I do. Right. And 38.9 ain't good. Right? The same way that we praise Christian Benford when he's in his PFF grade is money, we got to talk about Milano. But the real question about most folks are asking is, how long do we give him? That's the question. So I guess he's got 4 weeks till playoffs?
4 weeks till playoffs. I'll say this. If by the first Patriots game he doesn't look or he's not trending in the right direction, we can start splitting for the Jets game, the second to last game of the year.
All right, respect that. My man Kingpin comes in and says, "Yo, Milano did have one highlight though. He's definitely earned a few games to get right. Dude's been our best player on defense for years now, for sure." My man Drippy said, "Yo, he's at 30%. Golly, Drippy, relax, bro. Relax, Drippy." Let me get some stuff here. Carl, what is the most disappointing loss and why is it Ohio State? Michigan?
See, like, I like y'all. Why y'all doing me like this, man? Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Mitch got you, man.
All right, Mitch, which one? Which Ohio State Michigan loss? Probably the one where this one was bad. Like, we was 21-point favorites. And I say we because I'm from the state of Ohio. I pay taxes. Actually, I don't pay taxes there. My parents do. But any of the ones with CJ Stroud, ain't no way in hell. Oh, Mitch, my bad. Love you then, Mitch. I see you a Bucks fan. But yeah, any of the losses with CJ Stroud, you ain't supposed to lose with no boy like that, man. I'm sorry, Ryan Day, you got to go. I know I'm supposed to be all proper and stuff, but Ryan Day is the source of my misery.
Bro, how come you so matter of fact with Ryan Day, but when I ask you about McDermott, you're like,
because I don't cover. I'm not in Columbus.
I got you. All right, let's get to a few comments outside of before we get to our top 10 because I know we just chilling right now. We're an hour and 15 minutes. And by the way, do us a favor, folks. Smash that like if you are enjoying this stream with my man's Carl Jones with Buffalo News 4. I gotta say it properly. News 4 Buffalo. My man's killing it out there. Interviews left, right, center. Love it for you. I'm loving it for you. You know what I mean? Who's next, by the way, on the hot seat?
For what you mean?
Who you get to interview? Because you've been interviewing some players.
Oh yeah, tomorrow I got actually something nice cooked up, barring the weather. But if the weather hold off, I'm gonna sit down with both Dion and Taryn. So I'm gonna get Taryn first, release that on Friday.
Yep.
And then Dion and release that on Thursday. So yeah, they both great for different reasons. Taryn's I'm not supposed to have favorites, but he's my favorite player to watch. And then Dion's just a great personality. So I can't wait for
great personality. Yo, you're gonna love Dion, man. He's good. I mean, you already know. I ain't got to tell you, he's good people. It's not even a suggestion, but there are some great. I think what you should do is a mailbag of questions that fans will probably have for Taryn and Dion, and put it on your stuff, bro. You'll get because I'm sure you cook up your own questions, and you're like, okay, so what should I? You might have some solid ass questions from some of the folks. You know what I mean? So, if you guys have questions that you want my mans to hit for Taryn or Dion, I don't know, hit it on your page or DM.
Yeah, y'all see the y'all Jones 11 underscore on Twitter. Hit me up on that.
I got you. Hold on, let me.
If y'all got any questions for them, it can be anything because one of the segments is football and the other segment is life. Like one of the questions that I had written down for Taryn is, man, you're a father now. Like I believe he just had a little baby boy this year. Like how is that like? So like it can be anything, man.
Yo, you just gave me interview. You just gave me interview face. Did you see that?
I did see.
Yeah,
I can turn it on and off. I can turn it on and off. You feel me? I'm trying to be professional.
He's getting ready. Let me button up real quick. All right, yo. So if you have any questions from a man, Carl Jones, please hit that. He might have a question that might come. I think you should have 6 questions. One from the fans. Hey, this is coming from user such and such, and he asking this, and then boom, man. Yo, yeah. I have nothing but love for my guy Carl. I want all the success your way. So any way we can get it to my man, let's do it. All right. I gotta put a picture up, and I need your thoughts on this picture. And this goes for everybody in the chat. I got a picture that I'm gonna put up, an image, and I need Carl Jones's his reaction to this. So this one right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not realizing what you see here, in the state of Ohio, hope you guys caught that because that's some whole ass stuff that's going on over there. It is now a felony to plant your flag in the middle of the field after you earn yourself a dub. Your energy's pumped up. You're going up against a rival, and you sit there and go, boom. That, ladies and gentlemen, can get your ass thrown into jail. Why? Because, I mean, I'll let my man Carl Jones speak on that. Why is this now a felony, Carl? Can you explain to the folks as to why this is happening?
First off, my state's soft, but we ain't that soft. It's not a felony. It hasn't been passed.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
But why was it introduced in the first place? I don't know. He don't represent us. It's up with him when we see him. We don't feel like listen, I think an objective watcher, like an objective viewer, because it didn't just happen in Ohio State, it happened like throughout the nation that Saturday, to where Joe
gets it. People just don't understand the Ohio State Michigan rivalry. I don't get it. I don't see how
it's real smoke
in NFL terms.
Okay, so here's the one thing, and living in Buffalo, I've tried to explain it to people. There really isn't an NFL comparison because you're born into it. There is no like I got smoke with anything related to Michigan. Like I didn't like nothing Detroit related. I ain't like nothing like Ann Arbor or East Lansing. Like T Grizzly don't like you. Like it's just real smoke with the whole state. Michigan don't like Ohio.
Eminem, I hate you.
You feel like it was just it's just been embedded since I believe there was a war fought 150. It's just real when I'm from Ohio and people be like, oh, is it close to Browns Steelers? No, because you're fighting. I wasn't born into the Browns rivalry. I was just exactly it's just real. I'll say this.
This has been going on a minute.
It's been going on.
This is beyond.
The best way I can describe it is when Bills and Dolphins fans link up, you're not concerned that a fight gonna break out. It might, but you're not concerned that it's real smoke. If an Ohio State and a Michigan fan is next to each other, get the police.
It's smoke. It's real smoke. So
it's not fake. It's real.
Bills, Jets, because we don't like the Jets like that. Bills, Chiefs.
I will say it's not Bills, Chiefs because this is gonna pass in 10 years, and y'all know it's not gonna be smoke no more.
My man Joe said I was given that name by the one. Yes, the voice. My man Joe. Yeah, go ahead, keep going, man. Because this rivalry, I just don't. I'm like, is that serious?
It's real. It's real small. Especially for the people who are in it and born there. When I came home, there was 2 things that I had to I knew as a kid. You get good grades and you don't like blue and yellow. It's just how it is. You go to school, you can't say the letter M the whole week. You can't use it.
You can't say the B's and the C's. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't
no, it's real. So I mean, it sounds trivial and childish to everyone, and I get it. It's just there's a bunch of rivalries everywhere. It's just at a different level.
My man Mitch says, "Yo, I'm in ministry with a guy who is a Michigan fan. Thank Jesus." He says we're friends because it's on if it's not. You know what I mean? Thank God we are brothers in Christ because that's as far as it goes. But I appreciate you bringing that. But hold on though. is the plant flagging the signature flag. I think that's the dopest thing ever, man. Like, I beat you. It's in.
I think for me, I love the fact that Michigan did it because it's a rivalry. We don't like you. It's smoking is up. And if you're an Ohio State person, this is still my field. So I don't got no issue with what makes college athletics so great. And I know it's changing now with the professionalism and the NIL and all that stuff. But that at its core is all about irrational passion. At its core. Like that's what college athletics is. The professional ranks, it is about, tidy things up, all these rules. Joe Miller is 100% correct. Ohio State fans would much rather be Michigan than win a national championship. Not even close. Not even close. Like,
it's wild to me.
Yeah, I'll say this: if Ohio State wins the national championship, they still want to fire Ryan Day. Like, I am not kidding. And why that's different than when you say Bills Jets. Y'all can go 0-2 against the Jets, or if y'all win the Super Bowl, who cares? I can't say the same for Ohio State, Michigan. Like, it's real. So that's my whole way of describing it. I know Alabama, Auburn can say the same thing. They're up there, but it's real deal smoke. Like, it's not like nothing fake about it.
Listen, man, I love hearing everything about it. Because I don't follow college football like the way I should. I'd love to, because the way y'all get into college football, I mean, as a Canadian, you don't really see it like that. You know what I mean? It's like, but like I gotta put myself in it. So the plant to plant that stuff. I love it. I hope it doesn't pass as a felony. If it happens, it happens, bro. No, we're putting the jeopardy of the fans and police officers and the this and the that. Oh, golly. Settle down with all that stuff. But you say Ryan Day got to go?
If he want to win me a natty, I ain't going to be that fan to say he still got to go. Give me 4 weeks or whatever. If he if the Buckeyes not national champs on January 20th, you know where to find me.
All right, listen. Let's talk about this. All right. I'm going to see if I can zoom this in. I need you to pick your winner in this bid. All right. Give me a second here. Let me zoom it in for you real quick. Hopefully I can get it. It's not working for me.
No, I can see that. I know who's who.
All right, cool. I want to be so everybody else can see it. All right. So Clemson, Texas.
Give me Texas. I think that we'll see the young Manning get some real snaps on I think the 19th or 20th, whenever that game is.
By the way, how do you feel about the non-reseeding? I actually like the non-reseeding.
I hate it because Penn State has an easier path than Oregon, even though Oregon beat them.
But do they have an easier path? Because it's any given Sunday.
It's not. You're right. It's Saturday, and it's much different in college than it is.
You're right. It is Saturday.
It's Saturday. That's the difference.
Here we go. Tennessee, Ohio State.
I think if there was one team in the bracket that Ohio State didn't want to see, it would be Tennessee. But it's a home game. They just don't match up well up front. Ohio State, I think, is down 2 offensive linemen. But regardless, give me the Buckeyes a 17-13 win.
17-13. All right. Let's go. SMU, Penn State. Do we see an upset here?
Nah. I saw what SMU looked like against NFL caliber athletes. They didn't look the same. I know they came back in the second half. Give me Penn State. I think Drew Aller. Shout out to Cleveland. That's where he's from. I think he'll make some noise. He makes some noise.
Here we go. Indy, Notre Dame. Big game.
I hate Notre Dame. I hate him with a burning passion. I almost hate him as much as Michigan, but the only reason I don't is because I wasn't born into it. Having said that, Indiana's schedule was very soft. Give me Notre Dame.
I can't tell you how much I love listening to people talk college ball. It's the ish. I freaking love it. By the way, for those that are tuning in right now, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Do this guy a favor. Smash that like. Let's get this thing to 250 likes. Some light. You know what I mean? On a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, baby. Let's go. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's get the likes up. And I gotta get my guy Carl Jones going. So he says, you said Notre? You said even though you hate him, you said Notre Dame.
I hate him, but they're gonna advance for sure.
All right, boom. Notre Dame, Georgia.
Georgia Notre Dame hasn't seen that level of athlete this year.
All right, Ashton Genty, the phenom, against Penn State.
Give me Penn State. I know Boise State hung with Oregon earlier in the year, but that Oregon team struggled with even Idaho early on. I don't think Boise State is at that caliber.
Hold on. Put some respect on Genty's name for a quick second here.
He cold.
He been seen 8 in the box. They're going to give him 8 in the box again.
You're right. But you're 100% right, but he don't play defense.
Yeah, You got me.
He cold. He gonna go top 20 in the draft, and I'm gonna be his biggest fan. He cold.
Facts. Me too. Any Haitian. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Ohio, Oregon. Take your bias out of it, though.
Bias out of it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Oregon.
Is Oregon that nice? First and foremost,
they're a good in the portal NIL era. I don't know if we'll ever see a great like 2019 LSU team again. It's just hard to keep 5 stars on the bench. They'll just transfer. But I think they're the best team in the country. I'll take Oregon here, though. Give me Oregon.
All right, Oregon. I bet. Arizona, Texas.
I like Arizona State. They've been playing well. But I'm a big believer in recruiting. And when you look at national championships, they all tend to be in top 10. Arizona State has not seen the level of athlete that Texas is going to roll out there. They just haven't this year. Give me Texas.
Oh, so you got Texas taking this, right?
Yes.
All right, bet. Here you go. So Texas, and you said Oregon's going to take this. So Texas and Oregon.
Yes. I'm going to take Texas here. I think Arch Manning is really going to make some shape. Yeah.
Emmanuel Ocho's going to be happy with you, bro.
Listen, I don't. He all right, whatever. But give me Texas. Give me Texas.
All right, bet. Then you had obviously Penn State being Boise. So Boise and Georgia.
You mean Penn State and Georgia?
Excuse me, Penn State, Georgia.
I think this is going to be closer than what people think. And
first of all, is Penn State are they nice like that?
They're good. I wouldn't put them on this tier. But I want to say this: Georgia's quarterback has a UCL injury. We don't know the severity of it, but do not do that because if you lose your car, I'm gonna be the first person to get a phone call. So let's not do that, Bartech 365. Don't do that. He has a UCL injury. Not good for the quarterback.
True. Who you got?
James Franklin is like 1-19 against top 10 teams. He's gonna make it 2-19. Give me Penn State.
Damn, Penn State. So we got Penn State against who do we got? We got Penn
Texas.
State. Penn State. Penn State, Texas. Wow, Texas is in the whole thing, huh? It's like that. So Texas wins the whole thing. If there is a Cinderella team that just shocks everybody and wins it, and I don't want to call them Cinderella, but the team that is not likely to like
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I would say Tennessee. The route is difficult because if you look at it, Ohio State, Oregon, likely Texas, then a national championship. Manning isn't the starter. You're correct. But you got eyes, Bill. You watch that same Texas team I've seen the past month and a half. You also remember when Jalen Hurts didn't look good the last month and a half of his season. Damn, I didn't know that Penn State and Texas linking up. Who was that, 5-6? I know that was chalk, but whatever. I love you, Jim. But regardless, Tennessee, the route is difficult, but I love their defensive line. I love how they can run the rock. They can make something shake.
I bet you the odds for Tennessee to win that thing would be great. Ooh,
yeah, I think it's like plus like it's the I think the 3 ones are Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia, followed by Texas.
Love it. All right, yo, you still with me? I still got a couple more segments, and we still rocking.
I'm chilling, big dog. I don't hear the dog. I hope that's a good thing.
Hey, listen. Let's go. All right, next up, I need you to speak on this image for me, please. Talk to me on this. Bill freaking Belichick. UNC of all places to go, you go to UNC. Is there something that the average fan doesn't know or should know about Bill choosing to go to University of North Carolina? What the heck? You know what I know about North Carolina? I know Ron Mercer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm aging myself. Ron Mercer. You know what I'm saying? I know them Kentucky. Yeah, I'm saying Ron Mercer. Golly, forgive me. I'm a Kentucky guy, but I think of Vince Carter and them boys. I think of all those boys, man. Jameson, like UNC. Talk to me, please.
Yeah, I think that at this point,
I remember if I think of collegiate boys, Peppers is who I remember from North Carolina.
Yeah, not a football school. I'll say this: Bill Belichick's downfall in the NFL wasn't that he couldn't coach anymore. He wasn't a good GM and wasn't good at roster construction. Remember when by the end of even when Brady was still there, that roster construction around him wasn't good at all. And after he left, the floor fell out. It was just he wasn't able to draft well. The acquisitions were bad, and you see it now with the Patriots how far they're behind. I don't know if an NFL team would have trusted him to do that again because he doesn't want to come and just coach. He doesn't want to be McDermott. He wants to be the CEO of the damn franchise, right? And you can get away with that in college where you can recruit, you can do that type of stuff. I'm not saying it's a one-to-one comparison, but Deion Sanders is a very CEO type coach. You guys recruit. I'll just talk. I'll be a culture setter, and I will coach fit in where I need be. If Bill Belichick can do that, I don't see why he can't do this because in this day and age where the transfer portal and you can turn your roster around like that. Indiana is in the playoff this year. That was a very bad program last year. And this is my tweet that I said earlier. If he can get the right staff around him, like if he can get guys who like to recruit, got connections in Georgia and South Florida. North Carolina is a very good state for high school football. I think they're like top 10, top 12-ish. Get some of those guys to stay home. The ACC is not good. I know I'm a Syracuse guy. That sounds crazy. Why can't they be a good ACC team? Like, someone tell me why they can't if he puts the proper staff around him. Because he can coach. He knows X's and O's. That never lost. He just was terrible at roster construction. And clearly the NFL wasn't cool with him doing it. Now, the one knock, he's 72. I don't know how the hell an 18-year-old can relate to that. I don't know because I had trouble doing that with my head coach who wasn't young. But I see potential if he can get a couple 35-year-old coaches on your staff.
Bro, I think it's epic disaster. I think it's going to be epic disaster, and that's going to be his downfall. Like, he's not a good decision maker, man. In this case.
It weighs a lot there because I don't know how much faith I do have in him getting the proper staff.
Here's what I like, and you always hear about, like, you see this in TV shows, you see this in real coaching where the coach goes to the living room of said player they're trying to recruit, and they say, I'm gonna this and I'm gonna that, I'm gonna make a man out of him, I'm gonna XYZ. Bro, this guy's awkward as hell in press conferences. Like, you can't even answer a question. He's just, we'll move on to next. We'll move on next, right? What are you going to do for my son? We're going to make him an NFL player. But what about his education? He's going to get a great education. Fam, like, how are you going to relate to these young parents? Some of these parents are younger now. 72-year-old, you like talking to my father. Like, you're talking to a grandfather. I just don't see it. That's number one. Number two, the big thing is recruiting. You got to recruit in this thing. Manage players. I mean, I think it was Jimmy Johnson that said it. Managing players in the NFL, Bill Belichick would be great at it, but the king and key to collegiate ball is recruiting. You always hear coach crying. Look, who's that coach that refuses to do the NIL? Clemson's coach.
Transfer portal, yeah. That was Sweeney.
I don't do that. Like, yo, you got to follow where everybody else is doing. Nah, man, I'm about the bro, you better stop, man. You got to get with the times. Bill Belichick going to get with the times? I cannot see. I'm baffled with this. By the way, Walter says, I don't agree with him being terrible as a GM. Besides receiver, what position were they really horrible at? He excelled.
Do you think their offensive line is good right now? Like, historically, you're right, but is their offensive line good right now? Is their defensive line was good? But like, there's a reason why the offensive side of the ball looked the way it did post Brady. Hey, you talking about my man can recruit? I don't know about you, but you know how hard it is to pull somebody 24 at 70.
I was talking out loud, and wifey was like, Bill Belichick 72? I was like, yeah. I was like, but that boy dating someone that, like, is she in her 20s, maybe early 30s? I don't know.
She was 23 when he got her.
Yeah, really? God, all right. Well, so he must relate somehow. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Listen, our eyes will all be on North Carolina to see, like, okay, what they go. Damn, she's 24.
I'm in the ACC. I don't want North Carolina to be good, but they do come to the Dome next year, so I low key might want to go to that. Let me write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more segment with my man Carl Jones before we get up out of here. We're an hour and a half in. I appreciate my guy Carl hanging with your boy. He was supposed to be hooping today. I don't know what kind of game you got. I don't know if your anchors are strong. Are you a good defender? Are you more of a defender or offensive player?
First off, don't try me. I'm a DB, so you know I got clamps. You know I lock people down. You know that's me. And
in the face?
Nah, I'm more than puppies. I slide the feet. You feel me? I don't do none of that extra cheese. You feel me?
All right, bet. I got you.
Like, yeah.
You look like you might have a good jumper.
See, that's the thing though. Like when I was growing up, I ain't had a jumper. I was going to the lane, bouncing off people. You know, all that stuff. Yeah. But now, call me like Clay with a little dribble pull up. You feel me? That's me right now. That's
you're on the way. You're just waiting for it. Not even all doesn't even touch the ground.
I'm like 2015 Clay. You feel me? I can get to the cup. Nothing pretty, but I can get there. You feel me?
I like it. My man Jim Dub says Rico is a real bad man. I bet Rico could hit them threes. I wasn't one of those guys that could hit the three. I was more to the cup, and I'll lock you on D. I always knew how to make a basketball team when I played high school ball. I made it you guys call it freshman, my grade 9 year, it was play D. D up, you know what I'm saying? Get to the rack and one, shooting that three. Nah, that wasn't me. That wasn't me, kid. I'll be 100. The three ball and Rico don't do. We don't do that. My man said, yo, Carl be fouling out like a mug.
Listen, quick story on my basketball career. I committed to Syracuse like end of my senior year of football. By the time, because y'all know football and basketball shape way different. I got back to basketball. I looked at my coach, one of my greatest influences ever. Shout out to Coach Flan. Looked at him. He looked at me. He said, "You got 5." I said, "Bet." And I used all my five fouls. Yeah, I used all them.
You out of here.
Yeah, I'm using them. Hell yeah. Like, you feel me? I'll tackle a motherfucker out there. Don't get it
twisted. Yo, actually, hold on. When you choose it, before you chose Syracuse, were there other options where you could have went to? Like, were there a lot of schools that you had a choice?
Yeah, so my recruiting journey is so unique because I was at a high school and I think there were 21 Division I players on our team my junior year. I was just one of the guys who just didn't get a lot of attention. So then I didn't get my first Division I scholarship until week 5 my senior year. I believe the first one was Air Force. Then like the rest of the military came. Then the MAC. Then I committed to Syracuse, and then people started hitting up after Syracuse. But like, I'm loyal. I'm loyal, baby.
How do you feel about players that decommit? Where they say, I'm going to Florida State, and then all of a sudden another school hits them up and says, nah, bro, you got to come over here. And they decommit.
The reason why I don't have an issue with it is because I don't want to look at it through a lens of a grown-up. When I was 16, I didn't know which girlfriend I wanted. When I was 16, I didn't know what scoop of ice cream I wanted. So I'm not going to bash a 16-year-old for where because that shapes the rest of your career. Like that shapes the rest of your life, right? Where you go to university. And look, some of these dudes abuse it. We all know that. I don't have to point to the examples of it. But like looking at it through the lens of a grown adult, I can't do because I was that same 16-year-old that didn't know which girlfriend I wanted to date.
That's a great point. You don't really look at it that way. You look at it as you gotta have loyalty, man. You pick a team, you stick with that school, and you go from there, bro. Like, but they said they got more girls over there, man. They said they got this, and the party life is crazy. Like, I'm sure there's a whole lot of them.
Like, think about all the things when you was 15, 16 that like had you going different ways. Like, come on, like you feel me? Like,
bro, that's a good ass point. That's a good ass point. Before we get into our top 10, I got another question for you. Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's been getting when it comes to the Heisman, it's gonna be him or Genty. I can go either way. Either guy is deserving of it. Like I wouldn't feel some type of way. Oh, that guy got robbed or this. I'm partial to the RB position where I know how hard it is, but I also know how hard it is to be a star at both the corner and the receiver room. But then I look at it: is he a top 10 receiver in collegiate ball right now? Doubtful, or maybe he is. I don't know. And is he a top 10 corner in the game? For sure, if not the best. Right. Genty is bar none the best RB in the nation right now. The way he's run the rock, 8 in the box, and he's still putting work on you. It could go either or. But that's not why I want to talk about my guy, Mr. Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has a girl. And you got everybody and their mama talking about Travis needs to, watch out. I don't know about that girl. Hey, you better have a prenup. You better have this. And everybody's talking on this man's woman. Bro, as a kid, what is he, 18? If that, right? 19, or what am I saying? He's probably 20. He's probably 20, 21.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, like, fam, like y'all speaking on my relationship like you in it with us. But we also know in this age, bro, these females sometimes they're just there for the bag until they can get the bag, and then it's a wrap. What are your thoughts when you see, especially in this topic, people talking on this man's lady? He wasn't my type to begin with, and all that stuff. And I was asking wifey this, and wifey's like, yeah, but she's like, when we got together, like you weren't typically my type of person to go for, but like I saw you and I was like, that's what I want. And I was like, so she's like, so I get what this girl's saying. I was like, yeah, but you didn't see how she said it. He wasn't my really type. Like, nah, she was a food dude. And if you look at him, he ain't, Vogue. He ain't, GQ. So when you see all this chatter happening, bro, are you like, yeah, I'm with everybody, man. I don't know if I'm, or are you like, yo, man, let this guy do what he does. He gets it. He knows it. Leave him be.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm the type of dude where like whatever someone else got going on at their home is their home, and that's kind of how I've always been. It can be someone who wants their life to be out there, like a Kardashian, where like they want everyone to know what they got going on in their life. For me, do what you gotta do, pimping. For that topic of just like, hey, like not they type, not this, not that. We've all been in that situation where like, hey, like I might be into women who look like this, got that feature, and but somebody else caught my eye. So like, I'm not gonna like. There's some people who like abide by that and say, hey, this is what I'm going for, and that's it. But I think most of us tend to line on the spectrum of what look good, what sound good, and that's that. Yeah, you was crazy for he ain't Vogue. That was funny. That was funny.
You knew exactly what I was saying.
I knew where you was going with that.
You know what I mean? But it is. I feel you because like, yo, what's in your home is just in your home. Hey, you just hope that it all works out, but you hate to hear like, that meme where, my man Shannon Sharp goes, we tried to tell you. I hope it works out. Wow, we don't want to be in one of these, but it is what it is, man. Anyway, let's get into the last segment of the show, and this is where we go through our top 10 power rankings. It has certainly changed, I'm sure. We're about to find out what's really good with this power ranking. And is yours looking kind of like the same, or is it kind of a little different?
Very similar, but some changes at the bottom.
Bet. All right, let's get this thing cracking, and let's get my man in and out and get him to check up on his dog because I don't want your dog. Something's up with your dog. If you want to go check up on him, you go ahead and check up on him.
Nah, he sleep all day anyways.
He's good. Right. He good. All right, folks, we got the Week 5 power ranking coming up right now with my man Carl Jones from News for Buffalo. So here we go, Mr. Jones. I'll start off with top 10. I'm going to go with the Texans at 10. Texans at 10, I feel like they've been hovering around that mark, and I like them at 10. So give me the Texans at 10. I think we're going to start to see these boys buckle down a little bit. Mixon is a little bumped up a little bit, but I think it'll be all right. I think Nico Collins will kind of start to get some things going. There's got some tough matchups. Texans do have some tough matchups down the road, but I think these boys will start to put a string of things together. I got them at 10. Who you got at 10?
For me, I had the Texans at 12 if I had to extend it there. I got the Broncos at 10. I think that they're a team that for a lot of us, most of us, 98% of us outside of the state of Colorado didn't have high expectations for them. The defense is awesome. Obviously, I watch them a lot because I love Patrick Surtain. But I think I have them slightly above the Chargers just based off the Chargers' loss to the Chiefs last week.
I like it. I got the Broncos at 9. I like what Bo Nix is doing, man. Sean Payton, and this is the conversation I have with my brother. And it's crazy that I got to bring this up because he has not been a fan of McDermott as a coach since Tyrod Taylor was on the Bills. And his reasoning behind it, and he's stuck to it. And he's like, and all the little decision-making that he's failing on makes me go back to this decision he made when Tyrod Taylor was a quarterback for the Bills. It's when he put in Nate Peterman in the Chargers game, and Nate Peterman stunk up the joint, and then he went back to Tyrod Taylor. He says, what kind of decision-making is that? Why would you put in Nate Peterman in for Tyrod Taylor just to go right back to Tyrod Taylor? He's like, ever since then, I've not been a fan of McDermott. And everything that he's done with these poor decisions makes you go right back to that. I was like, wow, how interesting is that? But anyway, I bring this up because Sean Payton comes in year 2 with a rookie quarterback, and he's got these boys playing. Mm-hmm. So, like, what do we? I mean, so like with McDermott and his situation and what's going on, and you got this guy with a rookie quarterback and got this team playing. Some people don't want to have to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore about McDermott. Sean Payton in year 2, they got these boys competing with a rookie quarterback. Don't play with me. So those are some conversations to be had. But anyway, I got all that to say. I got Broncos at 9.
For me, I have the Commanders at 9. They were on a bye last week. Right. Still, the book is out on like if the cliff is real, the Cliff Kingsbury cliff. He falls apart every single year.
Right, near the end.
And I know that the Titans win was very impressive. They put up 40 plus or 30 and whatever it was. This upcoming stretch, we'll see how real that is.
Here we go. I got Baltimore at 8. B-more at 8. They're going to be climbing. They got a good stretch coming their way as well. They got Pittsburgh in that stretch. They got some teams they got to play. They got to play Cleveland again. So Jameis Winston, you can't look at them the same way anymore. Jameis Winston just got these boys kind of playing a little bit, and division games are always so damn tight. So give me Baltimore, man. I think I got the ball. I got Baltimore there.
Like I said last week, for those at home, 8 is where I start to think these teams can win a Super Bowl. Am I expecting it? No. But like if I woke up on February 15th and they were raising the Lombardi Trophy, I'm like, oh, I can see it. I also have Baltimore at 8. They got a stretch coming up. The defense is playing better, but I mean, the bar was the floor. Like, I hope you're playing better than how bad you guys were playing in mid-October. So give me Baltimore at 8.
All right, bet. I got Green Bay. Green Bay at 7. Listen, man, they look good their last matchup. They look solid. They look like they're ready to go, and it looks like Jordan Love is now starting to kind of get into his groove. Right when he was last year, getting to his groove, and I still believe he's in that. So give me Green Bay 7.
Give me Green Bay at 7 as well. I know they lost to Detroit, but is there any shame losing to the team that is playing the best in the sport? So crazy. They got 2 of their losses are to them. I know one of them is to the Eagles, and I can't think of the other team. Wow, 3 of your losses are to 2 of the three best teams in the sport.
Crazy.
It is what it is.
Go figure, right? And here's the thing. That brother Jordan Love made a throw that was unbelievable where he was under what I'm talking about, under duress, and he just put that in there. You put that any lower, any high, bro, it's just unbelievable, man. You got to give him credit. All right, give me Pitt at 6. I got Pittsburgh Steelers 6. Mike Tommy, got these boys playing. Listen, and the reason I have them at 6-2 is I'm waiting for there's a Russell Wilson I've been waiting for. There's old man Wilson right there. But he hasn't given it to me yet. He's been playing ball. He's been playing good ball. Defense is holding down. I got Pitt at 6.
Also at Pittsburgh at 6. Last week without George Pickens, they didn't look as great. But, hey, as you can expect, teams don't look good as without their best players, right? Yes. They're getting – Pittsburgh's dangerous because they have like 19 guys who can rush the passer. That's how that Pittsburgh thing worked.
Yep.
But I like Pittsburgh. I think they're a team who I'm not expecting them to win a Super Bowl. I wouldn't count on it, wouldn't put no money on it. But if it happened, there's a formula that they have that does lead to Super Bowls from time to time.
I like it. All right, man. Number 5, Buffalo Bills. I got the Bills at 5. They dipped, and that loss really did to it. Not because Josh Allen, nothing to do with Josh Allen, everything to do with what the defense showed. You let the Rams come in and just put 37 points on you, and there was just no answer. It wasn't that it was Puka, it was cut. We just didn't have an answer. There was no answer for these boys, and now you're going up against Detroit, bro. You dipped. You were my number 1 team last week. I believed in y'all, and y'all took a dip, man, and it didn't look good. If it was like a better defensive matchup, and we lost because like it was who got the. But bro, it wasn't about that. It was we just couldn't stop a nosebleed. I got Bills at 5. Who you got?
I got the Vikings at 5, and the Vikings last week looked really damn good. Like putting 42 up on the Falcons. I know the Falcons defense isn't great, but the Rams defense wasn't great, and we gave the Bills a bunch of credit for scoring 42 on them. So I just want to say Sam Darnold looked good. I know some of them throws was some punts, and he got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison to bail him out. Having said all of that, though,
yeah, they did.
Brian Flores, that's a top 3 defense in the game.
Yeah,
maybe the best. Especially stopping the run. So I like the Vikings.
I like the Vikings. I have the Vikings at 4. The Vikings are my number 4 team. They're doing it, man. I like what they're doing. They're doing good things. And like right now they're it's them and Philly in the NFC, bro. It's them and Philly. Like, gotta love what they're doing, man. Give me the Vikes. Flores got these boys playing, man, and it's all about defense when you get to the playoffs. Defense, and that team is going to bring it. Give me the Vikes at 4. What you got?
My top 4 are the teams that I expect the Super Bowl champion to come out of this bucket. So this is where I'm like, all right, here we go. I got the Bills at 4. Obviously, I had them, I believe, at 2 last week. And
yes, you did.
A performance like that wasn't encouraging, but you go out and beat Detroit this week, things can change.
Absolutely. Could that vault them all the way back to number 1?
No, because the Eagles looked really damn
good.
Really damn good.
Unless the Eagles take a loss this week, I don't know. We'll see. Correct. We'll see how that plays out. I got KC at 3. KC at 3. They just keep finding ways to win. They keep finding ways to win. I don't get it. I just can't. I just like a ding doink, and there goes. There's how you won the game, and nobody's gonna talk about it for like after this week is over with. You're on to the next one, and speak to my brother again, and I was like, family, I'm in the boat of at one point the shoe's gonna drop. You can't just keep winning games like this. You can't keep getting away with this. You can't. People are sick of y'all. But then my brother's like, and we're talking, he's like, or they finally start to kind of like, now I'm gonna start winning dominantly because like we've been just getting away with things, but like we're there, we're a good team. Now they really start putting it together because playoffs are around the corner. I just don't see it happening. I think it's gonna fall. The shoe is gonna fall, and maybe it's gonna wait till they get into after the bye because it's looking like they're gonna get the bye, and maybe they face the Bills, and the Bills are the ones that puts them away. Who knows? But I got KC at 3.
I got them at 3 as well. Like I said, a lot of the wins you could say it's fluke, lucky, whatever the case may be. At some point, you are what your record says you are. I know that line of thinking that some people don't like, and I to a certain extent I agree, but they keep finding ways, and they have a stretch where I think they have Texans, Steelers. They got to play Myles Garrett without DJ Humphries, which he came back this week. Yep. Well, they signed him. He finally played. He's popped his hammy, so who knows if he'll play. If Wanya Morris, who Greg Rousseau torched, has to play him against Myles Garrett, let's pray for Patrick Mahomes and his health. So, yeah, I got them at 3 right now.
I got you. And I guess, we could both say I got Philly at 2 and Lions at 1.
Yeah, I just want to say for the Lions, it's very damn impressive. They got all these players on IR and they're balling, and I don't think they're infallible. And then same thing with the Eagles, they are playing phenomenal. But even we saw that their passing game looked very military-ish last week. So we'll see how things turn out the rest of the month.
Yeah, I don't know what Brandon Graham was thinking when he started singing like a canary, bro. That's stuff you don't want. You ain't what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know all the facts, but here's what I do know. Like he's singing like a canary, bro. What are you doing? You're still on the team. What you doing, bro? But everybody already knew that. Nah, bro. Now you just created a whole bunch of stuff that some people were speculating, and now you put it all the way out there. So now all eyes are on Philly in this passing game. Now, granted, AJ was like, what's wrong with this team? Passing. So, shoot, he put it out there with that. But, Philly, we're going to find out what's really good, man. So, top 10 in the books. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is our time. I really do appreciate my man, Carl Jones, coming through and hanging out with me and running through some great topics today. I really enjoyed the show. We had some good laughs and some good insight, great insight from previous game against the Rams and also the upcoming game versus these Lions. I'm not sure if you're one guy to do, score predictions or whatnot. Do you have one, or do you usually do that on another show? Oh, you do? Shoot, look at you. All right, man.
Yeah, obviously, I still want y'all to watch the Sunday morning show, preview show, Buffalo Kickoff Live, Channel 4 for those in the Buffalo area. But I actually just emailed it in before I got on the show. My key to the game is going to be limited explosive plays, both run and pass. Player to watch, Taron Johnson going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that'll be a fascinating matchup. And then my score prediction, I have the Bills winning 38-35. The over-under for this game, by the way, is 54.5. Damn. I am not a gambling expert, and I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I just really doubt that the Lions, as currently constructed, can hold them under 30. And I don't think the Bills can hold them under 30 either. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. If you lose your damn money, it wasn't my fault. My fault.
So you got limit big plays, explosive plays. Is this for the Bills to win, or for either? These are the keys to the game. No big plays.
If the Bills want to win, you got to limit explosive plays.
All right, and Taron versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm gonna be real. I don't like that matchup. I don't like that matchup one bit. Not one bit. Not one freaking bit. And then the last, you said your score prediction was what? Sorry.
Bills 38, Lions 35.
38-35. And what's the spread? I think the spread's about 2.5.
Yeah, the Bills are 2.5 underdogs.
2.5 underdogs. Boy, oh boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was a fantastic show. I appreciate my man, my broski, Carl Jones coming through and just really just talking that ish. Love to hear it. And we look forward to seeing your interview with Taron and Dion Dawkins, D-Doc. And if you guys have any questions for my man, Mr. Carl Jones, do please hit him up on Twitter or X, however you guys want to call it. Carl Jones at Jones11_. Hit him up, hashtag it, questions for, I don't know how you want to do it. And then we'll go from there. Any last words you want to tell folks what you be working on, what they should be looking for, and then we'll send you on your way.
Yeah. Obviously, I'll be sitting down with both of them boys tomorrow. Some of the segment will be like just for our newscast, and the other part will be our 5 questions fun segment that airs on Sunday for Dion. Taron will be the Christmas week, so look out for them. I'll be tweeting them out. Don't worry. Put my notifications on so y'all know when I'm out there popping. And then I wasn't able to do it this week, but most weeks, as Rico knows, I tend to like put videos out about like, hey, DB's this, DB that. This will be another week where I think I can tell you I see what Christian Benford was seeing here, or I see what Taron was thinking, or Cole Bishop, whoever is going to be out there at safety. So if you're looking for that, I got you. If you're looking for how Greg Rousseau played, I'm not the guy. There are a bunch of other content creators who can do that.
I'm not the guy. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that, man. So, put the clips out. And once we do, man, we're going to retweet that, get that thing going, and get that thing buzzing, man. You should be at, 25K by now. Golly, man, we got to get you up there, kid. Got to get you up there. But ladies and gentlemen, that's my guy, Carl Jones. Carl, appreciate you. And we'll definitely keep in touch, brother.
Y'all be blessed.
Yes, sir. That's my guy, man. Listen, folks, if you guys enjoyed the show, do me a favor, smash that like, hit that subscribe button. You know all that. I'm going to tell you right now, where we at? We are currently sitting at 28,950 subscribers. The goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to get to 30,000. We've been clawing and trying to get there, man. And if the content does you well and it makes you feel great and you have to subscribe for some whatever reason, do me a favor, smash that, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button, let you know when we go live with whomever, whether it be Carl Jones, whether it be my guy Pierre, or whether it be myself or my man Z-Bot, or us together. Either way, we appreciate you, and that is our time. So hit that subscribe and hit that like before you get out of here. And until next time, folks, jump in. www.supportbf.com. Everything is here. And the Lake Effect. These 2 tees, sweatshirts, can be had as a Christmas gift. Get it to mom, dad, brother, uncle that's cross state or to another country. Go ahead and support the brand by that, and we'll go from there. So, folks, I got my man Walter says, smart idea with the Taron Johnson. CJ is trying to dispel the rumor that they're the same person. We shall soon see. All right, folks, that's it for me. And I'm going to let y'all be. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will catch you guys again. If you guys have not followed me on Bleacher Report, your boy is on Bleacher Report doing content over there. We got big things happening every Sunday after the game. That's why our post-game shows are usually a little delayed, because I'm at Bleacher Report doing my post-game there, and then I jump in fired up and ready to go with these Bills. All right, so go ahead and follow me on Bleacher Report. Just look for Rico_BF. Same thing that you see here, you'll see on the Bleacher Report. Download the app and get in there and do your business. All right, that's my time, folks. If you really enjoy the show, man, I love it. It makes me feel great that you guys are taking in the content and spending time with me. You don't have to. You could be doing other things on Wednesday nights, but you're here hanging out with your boy. So I appreciate it. So that's my time. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Until next time, folks, y'all have it. And we'll catch you guys on the That bass line. There it is.